Hey everybody, welcome to Average Joe Preparedness. My name's Rick and I'm an average Joe. In this video, we're going to be talking about perception, how you think about things, how you see things. And it's going to be one of the last bedrock videos that I've been filming that everything else is going to be built off of. But before we get started, it's been brought to my attention, people are asking me, hey, the world's going to heck right now. There's all kinds of things going on. There's looting and rioting, and this is an election year, and everything's just terrible. Why are you giving us information that is potentially years or decades down the road? We need to know stuff now. Now, I understand what you're thinking. I get it. Now, if you sit through this video and if you watch to the end, there'll be an explanation that should tie everything together. Perception. How you perceive things is your reality. That's just the way it is. 3, 4 different people can look at the same thing or listen to the same person talk, and they're going to get different things out of it. Nothing you can do about it. Everybody has their own way. We're all individuals. That's what just makes the world fantastic, or makes the world terrible and confusing and no one gets along. That doesn't matter. But let me give you some advice. Let me give you some little tools to put in your toolbox, things that you can use, once again, to build off of, to get yourself. What I'm looking for is for people to be prepared. Preparedness. Big picture. Prepared. Preparing. A prepper preps. See what I'm saying? We're going to go through all those steps. We're going to be touching base on all of those in my videos, small, medium, large. But the main goal is preparedness. Preparedness in all things. In your life, but also in what life hands you. So that's very important. One of the tools I used when I was raising my children and when I was finishing raising other people's children in my military career was should, would, and could versus is and are. Now, I would hear this a lot. Well, hey, you know what? Things should be like this, and it could be so much better if things were, and we would all just get along. And I would tell everyone the same thing I'm telling you right now. Hey, you want to come over to my place on the weekend and we'll barbecue and drink beer and we can sit around and talk about unicorns and rainbows and should, would, and could and fantasy and dreams. And that's all wonderful. Don't get me wrong. But that's not reality. It's not what you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. On a day-to-day basis, you deal with what is and what are. Yes, I know English majors are going to get me, but just follow me on this. When I'm making a decision, I cannot make that decision based on fantasy. I cannot make that decision based on my hopes and dreams. I mean, they're good and I would like to work towards those, but everyday decisions need to be based on reality. How it is, how things are, how people are. That's how you need to make your decisions, not on, again, hopes and dreams are wonderful, but hope is not a plan. The next tool to put in your toolbox is where your circle of concerns are. Now, people want to change the world, and God bless them. Okay, if you want to change the world, that's fine. But if you want to change the world, you need to start with yourself. Okay, I mean, I think there's a Michael Jackson song about man in the mirror. And if you want to change the world, you start with that person. You start with yourself. And it works. So start with yourself. Start with your circles. And now I have my circles, and they start very small. My first circle is me. And then it goes out. It's my house, my household. And then it's my neighbors. And then it's my immediate neighborhood, and then it's my community, and then it's my city and my state. And as it goes out, those concerns become less. And I know that seems silly. If you want to change the world, why would that would be way small of a concern. The reason being is if you back it all down, if I change myself and you change yourself and each person change their selves, then the world's going to change. If my household is taken care of, then I can take care of others. I can take care of my neighbors. I can help my neighbors. If my neighbors take care of themselves, then they can in turn help me. If we as a neighborhood take care of ourselves, then we can help our city. You see how that works? People want to go out there and they want to change the world. They want to fix things, but yet their own lives are a disaster. It's not going to work. Again, it's not based on anything. These are the bedrock videos. These are bedrock things. You have to start somewhere. And this is where you need to start. Small little circle. Something else that builds off that, and it's an old saying where it says, well, charity begins at home. My youngest son, I would bring up sayings like that to him. There's a word for him I can't think of right now. And he would be like, Dad, why are you always coming up with these little phrases that, why are you always using these phrases that have been around forever? And I asked him, I said, well, hold on a second. Some of these little phrases have been around for decades. Some have been around for hundreds of years. Some of them have been around for thousands of years. If there was no logic to it, if there was nothing to it, if they were hollow, they would have disappeared by now. And you need to think about that. And one of them is that goes along with this is charity begins at home. You have to take care of yourself before you can help others. It doesn't mean just think of yourself. I don't just think about myself, but I have to have a concern for myself first before I can help others. If you ride on an airplane, anyone been on an airplane? It says when the little masks fall down, you're supposed to put it on yourself before you put it on others. That's because if you're trying to put on others, you're going to pass out, and then you're helping no one. Now you're incapacitated, and so is the person you were trying to help, or the two people you were trying to help. It sounds silly, but if you check the logic, it works. Two more things about your perspective, real quick. One comes from a book that has a lot of wisdom in it. And I'm paraphrasing, but basically it says that you need to take that twig out of your eye before you worry about this little bit of dust that you want to take out of mine. Okay, once again, take care of yourself before you try taking care of me. Worry about yourself before you worry about me. And then the next one actually comes from my father. I don't know where he got it from, but I heard it when I was a little kid a lot. And I didn't get it until I was older. And I would say something, I would point something out about, Johnny Joe or Johnny Sue or Susie Q or whatever. And I'd be like, well, they're doing this and they're not doing that. And my dad would tell me, he would say, you know what? Don't worry about them. You worry about yourself. And then at first I thought that was like a little, well, if I just worried about myself, that's a little subset. But it was longer. You think about others, worry about yourself. And in the terms of worry is that judgmental sort of, what's that whole thing they got going on nowadays? That Karen thing? Don't be a Karen to other people. If you're going to be a Karen to yourself. So worry about yourself. Where are you? What are you doing before you worry about other people, i.e. judging them? Now you should think about other people. You should think about helping people. You should think about taking care of people. That's totally different. It's the worrying part. Worry about yourself. Think about others. Worry about yourself. Take care of yourself first. I'm going to try to keep this video short. That's very difficult for me. Again, there's a lot of information that I believe needs to be put out there. A lot of the building stones, a lot of the bedrock stuff that I believe you need to get before anything I say later on in the future is going to make sense. And those videos are coming. And hopefully you'll see, again, they'll reference back to these, but you have to have the right mindset. You have to have your finances in order, because we'll play on that, you'll see. And you have to have the right outlook on life, how you see things. So come back to these videos, reference these videos, because I'll be referencing these videos. So maybe there might be one or two more bedrock videos coming out, and I'll put them in a playlist. I'll put them all together. But anyways, we're going to shorten this down. I'm not going to kill you with explanations over what I just said. What I said is what it is. You guys can take it or you can leave it. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned if you watch through this, you would see how I was going to put these things together. Again, people are asking. They're like, hey, the world's coming to an end. It's death and destruction and mayhem out there. It's the apocalypse and it's just terrible. Why are we talking about paying off my mortgage? Or why are we talking about the snowball effect on getting my money straight? Why are we talking about how I perceive things and how I should, care about other people and how I should... Okay, let me give it to you. This is not the first time in history that people thought the world was ending. This is not it, guys. This isn't the worst. And there's a thing called the self-fulfilling prophecy. In the year like 999 AD, after 1,000 years, people thought the world was going to end. For whatever reason, good or bad, doesn't matter. The point being is, a lot of people who had monies and were in decent shape, they gave their money to charity, they gave it to the church, whatever, because they thought the world was ending. And a lot of people, that year, there was a lot of cultures, they didn't plant. They didn't sow their fields. They figured, why? The world's ending. Self-fulfilling prophecy. What happened the next year? Starvation was rampant. People were dying. Now remember, this was the middle of the Dark Ages on top of everything. And these people that were well off, they now found themselves poor. So now you have well-off people that are poor, and you have people starving all over the place. Besides, it was the Dark Ages. What I'm getting at is that it was self-fulfilling. People thought the world was going to end, so the world ended. The world may end. I have no idea, but I'm not planning on it. I'm planning on things getting bad, and we'll go over that, but you can't think the world is going to end. You still have to pay your bills. Okay, you still have to pay taxes. The IRS has a plan, you can look at it online, on how they're gonna come get taxes from you, even if the world ends. Now let me throw a few other dates out there for you, just in case you don't have the point. What was it, Y2K? 2000, that was 20 years ago. Some of you may be too young, I don't know, but others, you should remember Y2K, blah, 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 the whole thing, computer shutting down, it didn't happen. 2012, the end of the Mayan calendar. It's the end of the world, and it's been predicted for thousands of years, and blah, 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 and it didn't happen. Okay, what's going on now, I don't know what it's gonna lead to. But if you look back, things have gone wrong and things are bad, and you need to be ready for them, but you need to be ready in a rational way. And one of the rational things is the world is not going to end, and you need to have plans for that. You need to have plans for the future. Now, do you need to have plans for emergencies or contingencies? Yes. Do you need to prepare for things that potentially could be coming up, or you can almost predict it coming up? Yes. Do you need to prep? Do you need to be a prepper? In certain instances, yes. But you have to look at the future. That's all I'm saying. So, in the future videos, once again, I've touched base on it. We're gonna go over things on how to set yourself up for success, how to think the preparedness mindset, how to get your finances in a preparedness manner. You need to take care of yourself. You need to worry about yourself. Think about others, but worry about it. Worry about yourself. Does that make sense? I hope so. Now, things are bad right now, and I'm going to be pumping out videos as quick as I can. But as I mentioned before in some of my other videos, I'm a busy person, and you're going to be a busy person, because that's what life gives us. And if you are working towards that preparedness, being prepared, being a prepper, preps, if you are working in that direction, you're going to be busy. If you're trying to get your finances in order, you are going to be busy. If you're trying to get your mind in order, you are going to be busy, and so am I. So I'll try to kick them out as quick as I can. I'll try to keep the quality up, but we'll see what we can do. I want to thank you for stopping by Average Joe Preparedness. My name's Rick. I'm an average Joe. Until next time, be safe, be positive, and be prepared.